of School News. We're your hosts, Charlotte and Caleb. This week, we are presenting a multicultural special.
We interviewed students and teachers with different cultures from all around the world. We now join Liam Goldspring with Mr. Angel, who is from Macedonia.
Hello and welcome. I'm here with Mr. Angel. How are you doing today, Mr. Angel?
Oh, I'm having a lovely day, thank you.
So, is Mr. Angel your full name?
My full name is Mr. Angel Kovsky, but I thought it might be a little bit easier for everybody if I just shortened it a bit.
So, Mr. Angel, were you born in Australia?
Yes, I actually was. I was born in Bankstown at Bankstown Public Hospital.
Were your parents?
No, they were born in Macedonia, and Macedonia is a country in southern Europe.
When you grew up, did you speak any other languages or was it just English?
No, actually for my first probably 5 years of my life before I started school, I only spoke Macedonian because my parents only spoke in Macedonian to me.
So at home it was all Macedonian and no English?
I'd go to childcare, but that lady was Macedonian as well,
so
funnily
lucky,
enough.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So when you started school, was it hard not being able to speak English?
It was difficult. My first day at school, I needed to go to the bathroom, and so the teacher sent me off, pointed me in the right direction, and got to the toilet block, and then I'm looking at the toilet doors, and obviously one was boys and the other one was girls, but I couldn't read.
Yeah.
50-50 chance I went into the girls' toilet and I got in trouble. It was difficult, obviously, not being able to communicate with the other students, not being able to read, but I think I did learn quite quickly because at that age, I suppose if you're keen and you want to learn and you've got good help from good teachers, I did learn quickly, so yeah.
What was the most difficult thing of having English as a second language?
For my first few years at school, I think there was a little bit of being picked on a little bit in regards to having an accent. I remember I used to love olives because mum and dad grew up eating those kinds of things, and I love them so much that I even got mum to put olives in a sandwich for me. I remember some of the students having a big laugh at my expense and saying, oh, he's got cockroaches in his sandwich, and everyone then was in on the joke, and I didn't find it very funny.
I like olives too, so I don't know what they're talking about. Did your parents cook Macedonian meals for you at home?
Yeah, that's all we ate, because mum coming over from Macedonia and being taught by her mum how to cook, she brought that with her and that's all she knew how to cook.
What are some traditional Macedonian meals?
One is called sarma, and what it is just stuffed cabbage rolls, and they're stuffed with mince and rice.
So what is your favourite Macedonian meal?
There's a pastry that my mum does, and it takes all day, and she rolls out the pastry into such thin sheets that you can see through it, and then she sprinkles feta cheese, which is what I love, and she swirls it around into the pan and bakes that, and that is called maznik.
So what sports are popular in Macedonia?
Soccer is a really big one. In Macedonia, soccer or football is called football, so it's like some words are pronounced that are really similar.
Mr. Angel, could you please teach me some simple Macedonian words?
When you greet somebody would be a good start. So if you were to come across somebody and you wanted to say, hi, how are you? You could say zdravo.
Zdravo.
So we, in Macedonian, we roll our R's. So it takes a little bit of time to get your tongue around the R's. So zdravo.
Zdravo.
That's good, zdravo. And how are you would be kakosi.
Kakosi.
Yeah, so zdravo, kakosi.
Zdravo, kakosi.
So that would be a polite way to say, hi, how are you to somebody.
So how would you say goodbye?
So I'm sorry, but you're going to need to roll another R here. And this is the longer word, so it's just one word. And it is prijatno.
Have a go, Liam. You do that.
Prinato.
No.
No?
So,
Prijatno.
no.
No.
Yeah.
Prijatno. Prijatno.
Yeah.
Prijatno, Mr. Angel. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Now to Alicia, who is having a chat with Miss Sandstrom about Indonesia and her important role in the school.
Hi, I'm Alicia Butler and I'm here with Miss Sandstrom. So Miss Sandstrom, were you born in Australia?
Yes, I was born in Australia. I was born in Bathurst, in fact.
Were your parents born in Australia as well?
My father, he was born in Australia, and my mum, she's from Indonesia.
Have you learnt a lot of Indonesian culture?
From my mum's culture, the food that she eats and some of her language.
Was English your first or second language?
English was my first language. My mum, she didn't want to teach me Indonesian because she was worried that I'd get confused with English and she wanted me to do well in Australia and blend in, I guess. So Indonesian, she thought teaching me Indonesian would be too confusing.
So can you speak much Indonesian?
I can say a few basic words like some greetings, selamat pagi, some of the little things that my mum might have said to me growing up, like, I don't know, naughty or why do you eat all the time? Little, just funny little things she'll say, counting.
Your mother would never have said naughty.
Naughty. Bundle was the first thing that stuck in my mind. Bundle. Bundle. Like, and mengapa kamu makan melulu? Like,
That's a long one, what's that?
why do you eat all the time? Because I'm hungry.
So how do you say why do you eat all the time in Indonesian?
Mengapa kamu makan melulu?
Oh, great.
Have a go, Alicia.
You want to try and say it?
Menapa kamu
Makan
makan
melulu.
melulu?
Yeah, mengapa kamu makan
I don't
melulu?
think I can say that all together. Why did your mother have to ask you that question?
Because I was always hungry. Always eating.
Yeah, was that because your mother made delicious Indonesian food?
Yeah, she always cooking. She'd spend all day cooking. You could smell all the spices, and sometimes I'd go into the kitchen and the chili might be so strong I'd choke on it and my eyes would water.
What is your favourite Indonesian meal?
Nasi goreng, which is a traditional Indonesian fried rice, and I also like the satay chicken sticks.
So I heard you have an important role in this school. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so I'm what is known as the ARCO, which is short for Anti-Racism Contact Officer. And my role is to support children if there's any incidences of racism. I also provide anti-racism or multicultural education. That's my role, to ensure that that's implemented in the school. And I also offer follow-up support for those students and teachers as well.
Do you know how to say goodbye?
Goodbye is selamat tinggal. Selamat
Selamat
tinggal.
tinggal.
Yes, awesome.
Okay, well,
Selamat tinggal.
Selamat tinggal,
Yeah.
Miss Sandstrom, and thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Caleb now interviews Kwa, who is from Vietnam.
Hi, I'm Caleb here with Behind the Roos, and today I'm interviewing Kwa, who was born overseas. So, where were you born, Kwa?
I was born in Singapore. My family was Vietnamese, then I started moving over to Australia.
So, what age did you move to Australia?
About 5 to 6.
So, who in your family is born in Vietnam?
My grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, my mum, and my baby little sister.
You grew up with Vietnamese as your first language?
Yes.
Now you speak fluent English, hey? So, is there any word that you can teach us in Vietnamese?
Well, there's hello in Xin Jiao.
Xin Jiao?
Pho is a traditional Vietnamese rice noodle.
Pho? Does your mum cook delicious Vietnamese dishes?
Yes, my mum cooks spring rolls, banh mi, pho.
What is your favourite?
Well, it depends on the inside. So I'm gonna say banh mi.
Where did you arrive in Australia when you first came here?
I first arrived in Darwin.
How do you say thank you, Kwa, in Vietnamese?
Cảm ơn Qua.
Well, come on, Kwa. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Charlie now speaks to Nut, who is from Thailand.
Hi, I'm Charlie. Today I'm with Nut. And Nut's from Thailand. Where are you from in Thailand?
Bangkok.
What age did you move to Australia?
9.
And where did you land in Australia?
Darwin.
What are some of the words you first learnt in English?
Yes, no, okay.
Today you've brought a couple of things with you. What are they?
This is King Fat.
So the king of Thailand's flag. And
This is Thailand Fat.
can you teach me some words in Thai?
Okay. Hi in Thailand is Swadika for girl.
Swadika. Swadikap for boy. Swadikap for boy. Really good. Thank you. What type of foods do you have in Thailand? What are your favorites? Pad Thai, La, Pad Kapao. That's it. They're delicious. So what are some games that you play in Thailand that you wouldn't play in Australia?
Look, girl,
How do you play that?
you need to fold the bowl like small like this and in the hole.
How do you say thank you in Thai?
Khop kun.
Khop kun nat.
Thank you.
Khop kun nat.
You're welcome.
Next up, we have Hayley with Monique and Brandon from the Philippines.
Hi, it's Hayley in the wild, and I'm here with Monique and Brandon. Monique, did you always live in Australia?
No, not all the time.
Where did you live before?
We actually used to live in the Philippines with my grandma.
Do you know any language?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you teach us some?
Okay, I'll teach you how to count to 6. 1 is isa.
Isa,
2 is dalawa.
dalawa,
3 is tatlo.
tatul,
4 is apat.
apat,
5 is lima.
lima,
And 6 is pinte.
binte.
Very good.
Brandon, does anyone in your family cook Filipino meals?
Yes, my dad and my mom.
So, what's your favorite meal?
Sisig. Wait, no, not that. Longanisa.
Longanisa. So, what's that? Can you explain?
It's like a sausage. I don't know what they add in it, but it looks like barbecue sauce. Yeah.
Sounds nice. Do you guys go back to the Philippines much?
At least once a year.
Who would you visit in the Philippines? Is it supposed to be him?
My grandma.
How do you say grandma in the Philippines?
I don't know.
What's your grandma's name?
Midan.
Midan. That's actually a cool name. Thank you for your time and sharing your interesting culture with me.
Salamat.
What does that mean?
Thank you.
Alicia now interviews Sayu, who is from Sri Lanka.
Hi, it's Alicia here from Behind the Roos, and I'm here with Sayu. Is Sayu your full name?
No.
What is your full name?
Sayu Alambak Nanakawa.
Wow, that's a very long name. Where does it come from?
From my mom and dad.
What country does that name come from?
Sri Lanka?
Does that mean you were born in Sri Lanka?
Yes.
How old were you when you moved to Australia?
0.
Can you teach me to say your full name properly?
Yes. Sayura
Sayura
Lembak
Lemba
Nanakawa.
Naniakara. Is that right? Is there any language that you can teach me from Sri Lanka?
I born,
And what does I born mean?
hello and goodbye.
What else can you tell me about Sri Lanka?
Well, it's like green. The water is really warm.
Is it quite hot in Sri Lanka?
Yes.
Do you still have family back in Sri Lanka?
Yep.
Do you visit them often?
Yes.
Thank you for your time, Sayu. Ibon.
I born.
We now join Kristen with Miss Hearn, sharing some of her German culture.
Hi, I'm Kristen from Behind the Roos, and today I'm with Mrs. Hearn.
Hi Kristen, how are you going?
I'm good, thank you. So I heard you're originally from Germany.
Yes, that's where I've been born.
What are the differences from Germany to Australia?
Australia is a much bigger country than Germany, and I've been born in East Germany.
What interests you to come to Australia?
Well, since I was young, I met someone from Australia when I was around 9 years old, and she taught me all about the animals here, and it was very interesting. So I started to research everything I could find about Australia, and I made the decision really early that I want to live in Australia. But I was lucky enough that in 1989 the war between East and West fell down, and I was able to travel, and I came for a visit to Australia for a couple of months, and eventually I met my husband here, and the decision was made, living in Australia.
How old were you when you come to Australia?
I was 29.
Did you have any struggles coming to Australia?
Well, it was a bit of a process for the immigration, but it went quite smoothly. And biggest struggle was probably the language, because I did learn English in school, but I wasn't very good at it. And I learned English during my travel around Australia.
Was English your second language?
Well, English was one of the languages I learned in school. We also learned Russian in school, so I learned longer Russian than English. And during university, I learned Spanish a bit.
What's the difference between school in Australia and school in Germany?
Well, I'm not 100% sure what it is now, because I'm been already 20 years here. But when I grew up, we had one big difference was, first we had to go 6 days to school, so we also went on Saturday morning up to lunchtime.
What was your favourite German cuisine?
My favourite food was pineapple cake. In German it's Ananas-Torte. I could eat a whole lot by myself on my birthday, but that was the only time I was allowed to eat a big piece. Otherwise we had to share it equally.
How do you say it again?
Ananas-Torte.
Ananas-Torte. Is there any other word you can teach us in German, like hello, goodbye?
Goodbye is Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
And what's hello?
Hallo is Hallo.
Hello.
Oder Guten Tag, good day, good morning.
Well, thank you for answering these questions for the Behind the Roos.
You're welcome.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Now back to Alicia, who is with Yaman and Ayman, who can speak Arabic.
Hi, it's Alicia with Behind the Roos. I'm here with Yaman and Ayman. Were you born in Australia?
Yes, I was born in Nara.
What about you, Ayman?
Yeah, I was born in Canberra.
Were your parents born in Australia as well?
No.
Where were they born then?
In Iraq.
So, growing up, did your parents speak another language?
Yes.
What language did they speak?
Arabic.
So, can you boys speak Arabic?
Yes.
Do you think you could teach me a couple of words?
Yes, I can teach you how to count to 5 in Arabic.
Let's have a go.
واحد.
واحد. واحد.
اثنين.
اثنين.
ثلاثة.
ثلاثة.
أربعة.
أربعة.
خمسة.
خمسة.
That was good. It is tricky because you have to roll your R's.
So, Yaman, what words can you teach me?
Thank you.
And how do you say that?
Shukran.
Shukran.
That was good.
Thank you. I mean, shukran. Can learning Arabic be difficult?
Yes.
Are you still learning the language, and how do your parents teach you?
It's a bit tricky, but every time I go to bed, my dad or mom, they say stuff in English and we have to say it in Arabic.
What are some foods that your parents make from their home country?
Warak anab.
And what is warak anab?
It's rice with spinach leaf rolled.
Shukran, boys, for your time.
Shukran. Shukran.
As you can see, it can be difficult learning a new language. It's important we respect and understand the challenges of those who have come from another country.
Our unique traits and cultures make this world more interesting.
We're your hosts, Charlotte and Caleb.
Thanks for tuning in.